If you ever leave me, you'll regret it for the rest of your life, my wife told me one night, her voice steady, almost tender, like she was making a vow. I remember staring at her across the dinner table, fork in my hand, the food on my plate suddenly tasteless. She wasn't yelling, she wasn't crying, she just said it like a fact, like the weather. And the worst part was, I believed her. When I first met her, she was magnetic, the kind of woman who could walk into a room and bend it around her without saying a word. I thought I was lucky to be the man she noticed. She made me feel chosen. That's how it started, with flattery, with adoration. But slowly, that same intensity turned into control. It was little things at first. She'd mock the way I laughed, so I laughed less. She'd roll her eyes at my friends, so I stopped inviting them over. If I worked late, she'd pout, saying I loved my job more than her. If I came home early, she'd accuse me of checking up on her. There was never a right move, but I kept trying, desperate to get back to the version of her who once made me feel like the only man alive. Then came the money. Joint accounts meant she managed everything. Bills were paid, sure, but I had to ask permission to buy a new pair of shoes. When I questioned it, she said, I'm just better at handling these things. You'd thank me if you knew how reckless you can be. And just like that, I began to doubt myself. The isolation followed. Calls from my sister went unanswered because my wife always had a reason why I shouldn't pick up. She never respected you, she'd whisper. She just uses you when she needs something. I didn't notice it then, but the circle around me was closing, tighter and tighter, until it was only her voice I could hear. The cheating, that was almost an afterthought. I caught the messages by accident. He wasn't even special, just a distraction for her. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She smiled and said, you wouldn't last a week without me. Who else would put up with you? And the way she said it, calm, amused, I almost felt stupid for being upset. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, her words looping in my mind. You wouldn't last a week. And for the first time, instead of feeling crushed, I felt curious. What if she was wrong? So I tested it. I stopped reacting to her jabs. I stopped explaining myself. I stopped seeking her approval. She noticed. The more I pulled back, the more desperate she became to reel me in. She shouted, cried, threatened, then pivoted back to sweetness. It was a cycle I'd seen 100 times, but now I was watching it with new eyes, detached, almost clinical. I planned my exit carefully, quietly opened a new account, reached out to the sister I'd ignored for years, packed a bag in the trunk of my car. The day I finally left, she stood in the doorway, arms crossed, eyes blazing. You'll regret this, she said again, but this time her voice cracked. I didn't argue. I didn't even say goodbye. I just walked past her, keys in hand, and drove away. It's been months now, and every single day I wake up without her voice in my ear, I realize the truth. The only thing I regret is not leaving sooner.